Day one of PRI coming up. Stayed across from Lucas Oil Stadium and the Indiana Convention Center. It's actually starting to expand into the field of the Lucas Oil Stadium here. So the stadium's gigantic. It's right kind of downtown center of Indy. So I flew in last night, stayed here, gonna walk over this morning, go check it out for a little bit, and then the guys from Motion will be up, and we actually have an Airbnb. So if you're ever coming to Indy and you have some doubts of where to stay, downtown gets real expensive, so you might want to pick up a place like that, or you stay out by the airport and they shuttle you in or whatever. There's a lot of options. But once you're down here, it's pretty cool. Everything's kind of connected by skywalks or tunnels for the most part. I only really have to walk just right over there, and then I can get in a tunnel and be in the convention center. So pretty neat how they have it all laid out, because it is pretty cold when you're here. So headed over to the convention center. Day one of PRI is about to start. They actually, I think, already opened up here at Lucas Oil, where they have the trailer exhibits and stuff like that. So I might swing through here, then end up over at the convention center, because it opens up in about an hour. This is pretty cool here. You're down on the field of Lucas Oil. Pretty crazy to be down here on the field looking up at the stadium. It's crazy how big it is. They got all the new products down here, and then this is the trailer exhibit this year is on the field, so pretty neat. This is goals right here. This thing is sick. These are pretty wicked. So this is Chuck 55, I guess, new small tire Nova. It's got an SMX in it with a big Vortec. I like how they did the dual tanks. That's pretty awesome. And then everything's billet, like even the breathers off the valve covers. Badass zoomies. So this thing's super loud, I'm sure. Just a killer car. It sits super low. Pretty cool. Looks like they built this full like fuel tank deal, kind of removable. You can see where they have all the removable stuff right there. It's pretty neat. All the dual injectors where they all screw in instead of just being press in with O-rings. They're actually a screw fitting they in. That's pretty awesome. So here's the new Holley low rams. These are pretty sweet. I guess this one here will fit under the Camaro cowl, like on my Camaro, but I'm thinking about cutting the cowl out and gaining room here anyway. It is pretty cool that there's an option for fitting underneath the Camaro cowl in the Holley style. And I believe you could still put like the intercooler here, not so much on this one since the plenum comes in here, but like that one you could still add the cooler on top of it. This is pretty neat. A big Magnuson on an LS in a Pro stock car, so it should run pretty good. But what's crazy is you never really see anybody pushing these type of blowers very far, like in like a true street application where I think they'll make the power, but you don't see anybody like trying to go, I don't know, high fours with something like this in like a street car, which would be really cool, I think. I haven't really seen anybody doing this. So I'm assuming it's got its own built-in intercooler in it below it, so that's your water in, out, and then you have the blower there, which is driven off the front that comes back and drives the screw from the inside. So pretty neat deal. I love the big carbon scoop on these Pro stock cars though. Here's one of the probably most talked about pieces here at PRI this year is the iron coyote block. So I'm not real familiar with the coyote stuff, but sounds like this kind of game changer for them. So Noonan has some of kind of the be-all end-all of LS, billet, stuff. They do everything else too, like Hemi and stuff like this. This thing's pretty crazy, little V-twin Pro Charger deal, but I think this is their new Gen 5 LT 6-bolt billet water block. So has water in the sleeves and then a Gen 5 block. So this thing is pretty outrageous. That would be like the ultimate block you could pretty much put in the Mazda. Go right in there. Pretty crazy setup. And they step all the way up to stuff like this. So from LT to Hemi and all the billet. So this is pretty neat. I've been looking at these as like an option for what could go in the Camaro. but it's a 427, same block as what's in the Buick, same crank as what's in the Buick, different rods and pistons. These are just an H-beam K1 rod where we have billet Olivers in the Buick, but it's I mean, I think it's mid 5,000 for a short block, so they're actually not too bad. But just not sure on a couple of them components if you'd want to trust it to go to that 1,500 range or not. So this is what I'm kind of talking about, like a big 4.5 liter Whipple on an LS. I really hope this car makes it out so you can kind of see what it can do. Even though it's still in a chassis car, I'd like to see what it'd do more in like a street car. With weight behind it, but you'd get an idea on how well the car works and stuff. But with that big blower, a car like this is probably pretty solid. So something like this would be cool to see actually work. And I'd like to do something like that at some point. It'd be something neat to do, but curious to see how it'll do. So this is something I learned with talking to Tom on his SMX, is they run 3 Holley style injectors. Instead of running like the big huge billet atomizer or whatever, they run 3 high impedance injectors in these things, which is pretty cool. This is like what I was thinking about, putting a single set of these in the Camaro over the winter, but otherwise the SMX, this might be, I would assume this is the water block deal, so that's where you can kind of see it right here, that all this is gained to be able to run water through the block and everything, so pretty cool deal. So here's another super busy area at PRI, the tooling area with all the CNC mills that they have running, and parts, cutters. They have a little water jet up here that's super cool, and everything. So this is kind of the far end of the building here with all the tooling, dynos, stuff like that. So come over here and check out all the new tools and all the cool things you can do with them. It's pretty neat, part of the event as well. It's pretty crazy to see how they bolt down the injectors, the big injector hats, to do the dual injector per cylinder. It's pretty sick. Probably one of the baddest cars here at PRI. Stevie Fast Drag radial car. Also did some pro mod racing with it, but this thing is super sick. And what a rocket ship this would be. This car's pretty neat because like it actually has the wear and tear and all the little cracks and everything in it from being used and ran. Tom's car is hanging out here at PRI as well. This car is extremely hard to get around to see, but this is Ryan's new big tire car for the Street Outlaw stuff. Here in the Precision booth, pretty cool. I like that he went with the gray, black and red. Ended up going with the Pro line in it. Not a Hemi, but looks like probably a 481X deal. Full on plug with twins, so probably a similar setup to his old car, just not as heavy. I would assume this is probably a lighter car. Well, it's a full chassis car, where the old red car was a back half car too. So all the tin work up in the top though. This thing's super nice. Here's the look at the other side of it. It's kind of cool. All fuel tech, got all the coil packs up on the front, fuel cell in the front. Pretty crazy. This is the new turbo. I'm looking at possibly putting 2 of these on the Camaro if I go all 6-bolt and everything, or even if I can't get the engine sold that's currently in the Camaro, building the turbo kit, so when it does go to that, it'll be ready to go. So just waiting for Precision to fully release these, see where they're at cost-wise and all of that, but probably going to run a set of these on the Camaro. They're a little bit bigger than like what's on the Buick, so, but I think up in the front of the Camaro I can go ahead and fit these in there and it'll be all right. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. Got back yesterday from PRI. It was an awesome experience, always is. Got to meet a lot of people, do a lot of things. Shout out to Motion Raceworks for giving me the opportunity to go out and do all that anyway. As you guys could see at the end of the video, I talked about the turbos and changing up the turbo combo on Salty, so that is what's to come here soon. Got to finish up getting some more insulation in the shop, and then it's time to start pulling the Camaro apart and getting going on that project. So thanks everybody for watching. If you would, please hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video.